right, welcome to today's episode of Tomorrow's Leader, where we dive deep on all things leader related to leading yourself and leading others. I am John Laurito, your host today and every day. So I have mentioned, I know many times, my book is now out. I will begin every podcast for the foreseeable future with that announcement. I'm very excited about it. Tomorrow's Leader, How the Best Leaders Get Better in a Fast-Changing World, is now available on Amazon. You can download it instantly or order the hard copy. So for those of you that enjoy these podcasts, be sure to check it out. Okay, today's message is to all those leaders that are taking on new assignments. And I'm talking to leaders that maybe you got a promotion and you now have a new group of people you're working with. You've got a new office that you're running. Maybe you're a coach and you got a new team that you're running. The bottom line is you have a new group of people that you're now working with and you don't know them. And you're now getting to know them. You're coming in to this new organization and there's all kinds of stuff that are on your mind. I want to talk about one specific thing that I see ultimately sometimes hampering a new leader's performance. And it happened to me. It's happened to me actually a couple of times in my career. And that is when you are taking over an organization, the tendency is to oftentimes rely overly so on the opinion and the feedback and the input of the prior leader. Now, I'm not saying this is not helpful to some degree, but I find that in certain situations where a leader is taking over a new organization, it is because that prior leader, in many cases, was not doing the job that they needed to do. Now, in some cases, they're retiring or they're moving on to another role, and that's fine. But in many cases, that leader has not had a lot of success, and that's the very reason why you're taking over the team or you got the promotion and you're now taking over that branch, whatever the case may be. So here's the tendency, and I've been in situations like this before. I remember taking over an office. And this office was a large office, and I had really no knowledge of any of the people in this office. I had heard some names before and whatnot, but I really didn't know anything about this place. And the leader that had been there prior to me gave me kind of the rundown on some of the managers. Now, there were, I think, 8 or 9 managers that would be reporting to me in this new office. And I remember distinctly going through, I remember, listening really carefully, going through, taking notes, and I just, again, knew names, and I had this, 3 pages of notes on each person. So I went in there with a certain expectation around these leaders based on the opinion of the departing leader. Now, the mistake that I made is I overly weighted his opinion. And so I went into a couple of these interactions already with some preconceived notions. And in several cases, I could not have been more wrong. I remember 2 of the leaders, one of the leaders, this prior person had told me was ultra high potential. Ultra high potential. This was your number one of the 8 people. This was your number one person. And so immediately I'm thinking, okay, this is the person I've really got to start spending a lot of time with. I've got to really kind of position them as the next in line. I've got to give them a lot of control and a lot of influence and a lot of scope. And I had also, with my conversations with this person, learned about another individual that he felt was not even at the caliber of being part of the team, and really questioning whether or not he should be on the team now. And hey, you're going to really have to watch him closely. He's probably not long for this role. So again, I went into this thinking that these 2 people, one was stellar and the other was barely going to be keeping his job. Well, I ended up, and it probably took me a few months because I had to ultimately come to the conclusion that, this prior leader had no idea what he was talking about. He could not have been more wrong. In fact, the one that he felt was a superstar, ultimately I realized did not have the capacity, the competence and the skill and the will set to really achieve high levels of success. And ultimately, he was not a fit for the role, and I ended up moving him or demoting him into a different type of role. On contrary, the other leader that this person felt was not a fit turned out to be an absolute superstar. and ultimately got promoted, ran other offices, had tremendous success, and was recognized across the country. So what I came to the conclusion was I wasted probably 2 to 3 months because I went in with such a heavy preconceived idea based on another leader. Now, in some cases, people just form opinions based on personality style. Maybe the person, I'm thinking back, the person that this individual favored was very similar personality style. The person he didn't like was a very different personality style. It was really judged, I think, based on personality versus anything else. But bottom line, he was wrong. And I just gave too much credit to him. And because of that, I probably lost 2 to 3 months in my own generation of results and getting that place really to the high level of performance that it ultimately got to. But I had to snap out of it and realize, you know what? It's my opinion that matters. I'm the one that's working with these people, and I need to assess their skill sets and their will sets and ultimate potential and how I'm going to work with them and lead them. So my cautionary note to all those leaders that are going into a new situation, it's okay to kind of get a little bit of the lowdown and a little bit of the 411 on all the info that's going on in that organization, but really take it with a grain of salt. Okay, realize it's your opinion that matters. You are being brought in there for a reason. You are the one that needs to assess where the strengths are, the weaknesses, the gaps, the opportunities, the potential talent, the people that don't belong in their roles. That is your decision, and go in there with a clear mind and an open mind. Don't be tainted by the fact that other people have strong opinions one way or the other. All right, so that's my lesson. I want to pass it on to you. I've seen that happen many times before. I don't want to have it happen to you. Trust your own opinion. Form your own opinion. Okay, you are the one that's in charge. You're the leader of that organization. All right, so quick one today, 7 minutes. I'll give you back some time in your day. Hope you enjoyed this. As always, stay tuned for future great topics. I want your suggestions, your ideas, things that you might be struggling with as a leader or questions you have. I get lots of great questions from all of you out there who are listening. I greatly appreciate that, as well as your suggestions for future guests on the show. I've got great guests lined up for you, and most of them come as suggestions from you. So I greatly appreciate that. As always, share, like, subscribe, go down below, give 5-star review, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Take care.